Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use the lockmiter bit. Hey guys, this is Juan from Castor Woodworks. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite router bits. Now this is the second part of a series where I show you how to build a rolling trash can cabinet. For the frame of the cabinet, I wanted the corners to have a seamless look. That's why I decided to use this bit. I got this bit from Rockler, and I also got the setup block that comes with it. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So let's get started. Now I know there are tons of videos showing you how to use this bit, but sometimes I go into way too much detail. So I'm just going to show you exactly what you need to know. Alright, so now that we have our bit in, we're going to go ahead and place the setup block and see how close we are to see what adjustment we need to make. So right there it's hitting a little bit, so I need to bring the bit down. Just wanted to mention that this setup block has two sides. One is for 3/4 inch stock and the other is for 5/8 inch stock. In my case, I'm using the 5/8 inch side, so be sure to select the right size when you're setting up your block. Now you want to get to the point where it just kind of freely slides in and there's no effort. It just slides in by itself. So it looks like our bit height is set. We take this out, lock it in place. Now let's adjust our fence. Now what you want to do is make sure that the bit is pointing towards you, and you get your setup block and you use it to hold the position in place while you bring up your fence. You get it close and then you kind of slowly start tightening up your fence. This is kind of what you want right here. You want it to slide in and you want no side to side movement. If you sense that you have like this little play like that, then your fence is too far back, you need to nudge it forward. You should be able to slide it in with no movement, and it shouldn't be forced, it should just slide in on its own. So there we go, our bit is set. We have the proper height and the proper depth of the bit. So let's go ahead and run a piece and see where we're at. Okay, so you want to make sure you use some kind of feather board. I like to use this one from Feather Pro. So use it to line up your piece. Now we're going to run this test piece, run it through here, and then we're going to cut the piece in half on the miter saw, flip one side, join them together, and see if there's any gap in the test piece. Alright, so I just got my piece back from the miter saw. I cut it down the middle. So I'm going to flip one side, join it together, and see where we're at. Okay, so you can already see there's this pretty big gap. If this gap looks familiar, you know how frustrating it can be to set up this bit. It can take you hours to set this thing up and you might not even get anywhere. In my case, I show this gap because the setup block assumes that you have exactly the correct thickness of material. So for example, if you have 5/8 inch thick stock, then this will work perfectly. But in my case, it's a little bit thinner than the 5/8, so I have to make the adjustment to get me where I need to be. So what this means is that the bit is too low and it needs to go up. So I'm going to raise the bit and then push the fence back as well, about a 1/16. And once I repeat the same process, we should be able to have a perfect line right here with no gap, or sorry, no ridge. So you can repeat this process multiple times, lifting or lowering the bit and then moving your fence back and forth until you get the perfect fit. Using my method, it should only take you 1 or 2 tries to get it perfect. So we're going to lift the bit, and I'm also going to show you how to move your fence to align the bit correctly for the depth. Alright, so I've raised the bit 1/16 of an inch, and now we're going to test the depth of the bit. So just take some of your stock, put it against the fence, and there's two ways to do this. The first way is like this, where you put it against the fence horizontally, or sorry, vertically. Take a straight edge and slide it along your piece until you're touching the cutter head. As you can see, the fence is too far back. I need to bring it just a little bit forward. So that's what I'm going to do. Loosen it up. You want to just barely miss it. So right there I'm good. And another way of testing this is flipping it over, laying it flat. Take your straight edge, do the same thing right along your fence, and you should be just missing it. So just to recap what I did, I raised the bit 1/16 and I also adjusted the fence a tiny bit. So what we're going to do now is going to run it again and see where we're at with our next test piece. It should only take one more try to get this right. So like I said, these setup blocks are great for certain things, but if you don't have the same size stock, it's not going to be perfect. So you can make minor adjustments, and this is the easiest way I found how to do it. So hopefully this helps you guys. Alright, so I just ran the second test piece and I cut it down the middle on the miter saw. So let's go ahead and test our fit and see where we're at. Just flip it over, bring them together. There you go. There's no lip. So as you can see, by making a minor adjustment of raising the bit, we only had to mess with this thing one time and we got the perfect alignment. So now we're good to go. We can run it, all our pieces horizontally, and then as well run them all vertically, and we should be good to go. Once you have your bit set up, you should run all your pieces horizontally first and then vertically. Do a test fit to see that the corners come together nicely, and you should be good to go. I hope this video helped you guys. This is one of the most frustrating bits that I've used, and I'm sure you've had the same experience with it. I've used this bit to make floating shelves, chunky table legs, corners for posts and beams, corners on cabinets. Anywhere you need a mitered edge, this is a great bit to go to, and once you have the technique down, it can really pay off. So I highly recommend trying it out. Rockler makes an awesome bit and setup combo, so I highly suggest taking a look at that one. But there are other tool companies that make it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please smash that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up and share this video to anyone that you think might be interested. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next part of the series where I show you how to make the cabinet doors.